Hey guys, this is UC Kalu back with another video. I know it's been like a million years since I've updated or put out another video, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about upcoming projects and just sort of letting you guys know where I'm at. Of course, I know things are a little weird right now, so I definitely hope you all are doing well with COVID and that your loved ones are safe. I'm very fortunate that I'm doing okay, and so is my family. But definitely just gotta have faith and just I wish you guys strength through this time. And I know a lot of things have been happening, a lot of changes in plans, and it's really hard right now. So definitely, we're all in this together. So it means a lot that you guys have supported me throughout the years. And I know things are crazy with me, with like my med school. As you all know, I'm a medical student, and my graduation actually was canceled. So like this marks like a month until I technically become a doctor, but I don't have a graduation, and various things have changed. Like certain rotations are now done online and things like that. So things are crazy, and you just gotta have faith and be thankful for what you do have. But obviously, I know it's hard, but I have had a lot of time to reflect, and you guys have been PMing me and asking me questions about the fourth book and things like that. So I just wanted to really quickly sort of share what I've been working on and give you guys a sense of what's going on in my world. And yeah, so please, I have my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to that channel, and I'll definitely try to keep you guys posted. I'm trying to build my online presence, and it would mean a lot if you guys could help in that capacity. I know here on Wattpad I'm doing pretty well, and I'm very fortunate. I know I have a lot of you guys' support, and definitely, feel free to reach out. Definitely, I know I'm not a doctor who's been practicing for decades, but if you have any questions about COVID or anything like that, or like which things are reputable, what sources are good, or what things should you trust or not trust, I can definitely give you a better sense of what to look into and maybe help with those concerns you have. But overall, I'll just get to it. So as you all know, I was saying a while ago that I am planning for there to be a spin-off. So that would be what the next book would be. It's a spin-off, i.e. we're going to fast forward 6 to 7 years in the future. We are going to keep Mirren and Gino as central characters, but there will be a change in terms of who appears and who also has some significant roles just because of a change in setting. So yeah, I'm going to share with you my writing process. I tend to write a lot on Google Docs just because it's very easy for me to sort of write on different devices. So I could write in the library, in the school library, and use their computers. I can write on my phone if I have downtime. It works really well without worrying about where I am in the story and if I've saved and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to take you to my Google Doc right here. So spoiler alert, I have named the spinoff so far. It is called, drumroll, Sleep Deprived Society. So I got the title, I don't know, I just was thinking about it for a while. It's no secret that people in medicine do not sleep, so I felt it was kind of funny. But there is a song by an artist that I love who's very talented, named Leon, she has a song called Sleep Deprived, and the lyrics are very similar to Gino and Mirren's relationship, so I definitely urge you to take a listen to Sleep Deprived by Leon on Spotify or YouTube or whatever, and that'll give you a sense of what's going on. On this first document sheet, page 1, it's just like some dumb notes, some title stuff that I was playing with. I definitely wanted a title that was more maybe medical related, maybe had something about a white coat or side effects, blah, blah, blah. But I do feel like this title works, and it's pretty fun. So here's just some questions that I copy and pasted from some of your PMs. So just what's going on with me. Again, I'm doing well. I'm excited to become a doctor in a month. It's really scary but exciting. And just I see your questions about fourth book, where art thou, fourth book? So what I'm actually going to do, just to sort of give us some direction, is I'm actually going to read through the first chapter for you guys. Now, full disclosure, there might be some typos. This might change because I don't know how long it will take me to finish this spin-off. So I know this spin-off is going to be long. Like, it's not going to be as long as the Class Reject series. It might have a part 1, it might have a part 2, but definitely not something super long. And I also perceive, sorry, there's someone driving a motorcycle outside, having too much fun, even though we're not supposed to have fun. I definitely don't see it being that long, but I definitely do see it potentially spanning over a couple of years. So there might be some time skips or things like that, which is interesting because the first book, not the first book, the first series, the Class Reject series, pretty much takes place throughout the course of a school year. And it's interesting because it is 3 books, and it really just takes place in the span of 3 months. So that's something cool that you'll get to see. Hopefully, just seeing more of their characterization and more growth. So I'll stop talking, and I will get through the book, the chapter 1 of the Sleep Deprived Society. Okay, let's do this. So, The Sleep Deprived Society by UC Kalu. Again, sorry for any typos. Sorry if I can't read. Yeah. All right. Chapter 1. There was nothing like stepping on a wad of gum to kick off a Monday morning. Mirren clicked her jaw as she pseudo-limped against the sidewalk, her left heel sticking against it with each stride. She was only about a block or 2 away from campus, but it was hard not to feel like it was a world away, especially since she could see other anxious but similarly well-dressed students in the distance. At this rate, she would be there just on time, which would have technically been fine, except today was the first day of school, medical school. Orientation or not, she didn't come here to make a bad impression, or look mediocre. It was already bad enough that she had previously been waitlisted at the University of Pennsylvania. "Come to UPenn," she could recall her physician mentor say, who had just accepted a faculty position here. "Reject your acceptance to UCLA," the woman had urged. "I'll make sure you'll match into one of the top surgical residencies in the country. And it'll be fun," she concluded, as if gloomy Philadelphia stood half a chance to the vibrant shores of Southern California. Mirren cursed at the wind and hurried her pace, securing her purse strap over her shoulder. As she rushed toward the modern building, a flurry of thoughts hit her. Her mother would have been proud, maybe even her dad, wherever he was. She could feel her heart beat faster with each step closer, but it was the good type of anxious. Her mind cooled as her eyes settled on some women sporting short lab coats through the large glass windows, medical students. Seated behind a huge "Welcome to the Dickens School of Medicine" banner, it was only a moment before their attention landed on her. Mirren matched their grins. Once inside, they showered her with praise and a backpack full of orientation material before leading her to the state-of-the-art auditorium. In typical medical student fashion, the majority of her new peers seated toward the front of the room, and the hall was so large that it could hold 3 times her class size. Although the back seats called to her, she settled for somewhere far enough but still technically in the middle. Exit row. Mirren literally felt a weight off her shoulders as she placed the bulky backpack to the ground. Although the seat was comfortable, it was hard to relax against a plushy chair. The orchestra of voices consuming the air like a busy street. She could hear everything and yet nothing. Her mind traveled to Amsterdam, one of her favorite places in the world. Her mental solace was robbed, however, when the final students shuffled in and a woman, the dean, took the stage. More faculty joined the stage, including her mentor, Dr. Janice Rutherford, esteemed program director for surgery. But the normally jovial, if not borderline teasing woman now looked stern and annoyed. Mirren raised an eyebrow. Maybe it was just an act on the doctor's part to exert dominance on Mirren and her entitled peers, but Mirren tried not to think too hard about this shift in mentation. So instead, she let her eyes wander to the crowd of 120 or so students, saw a mostly non-diverse group of white people, and maybe a grand total of 30 people whose melanin was a shade above beige. Uninspiring. A snort of a laugh caught the air from a powder white blonde in the front middle corner of, A snort of a laugh caught the air from a powder white blonde in the front middle corner row, her blue eyes radiant like the potential in the room. Mirren would have rolled her eyes until she noticed the man sitting next to her, the one that made her squeal like a prized pig. Instead, Mirren's eyes widened. She probably would have had a heart attack. Probably should have. She was in the perfect company to have one. But instead, her eyes focused like a sniper on the man next to the giggling girl. It was the imperfect reintroduction to her ex-boyfriend, the one she hadn't spoken to in over 6 years, Gino fucking Rutherford. Okay, so she could mostly only just see the back of his head, but from her angle, she was able to catch glimpses of his side profile. And just like that, the past hit her like a brick. His ember eyes were just as intense, but they had calmed, like a slow burning fire. With his face clean shaven, his chiseled jaw was perfect. His chiseled jaw and perfect everything was only accentuated. He was no longer an 18-year-old. He was a man that she hated. She watched him say something to historical Hannah, who did her best to hide another laughing fit by burying her face in her hands, which was also perfect. Maybe they were together, maybe they weren't, but they looked perfect together. Mirren's worst suspicions were all but confirmed when Miss Laughs-a-Lot squeezed Gino's hand after recovering from her laughing spell. An eternity passed as Mirren watched Gino and this rando woman remain hand in hand. Every emotion imaginable coursed through Mirren's vein except jealousy. It was like life demanded to mock her, to spite her. Because in what universe does your ex-boyfriend, the one who she lost her virginity to, the one that immediately disappeared into the fucking wind, becomes your medical school classmate? Why the hell didn't Dr. Rutherford, her mentor, his mom, tell her? The universe froze. Mirren didn't know what the fuck Dean Kotry said when the crowd broke into applause, but she couldn't move. She was surprised she could still see anything other than the color red. Welcome to the Dickens School of Medicine, class of 2024, Dean Kotry cheered. Let's get the day started, shall we? Fuck. Alright, so that is chapter 1. My apologies for stuttering and whatnot. But hopefully that gives you a sense of the direction the story is going to go into. Definitely, maybe it's my bias as a medical student or whatever, but we do have this spin-off taking place in medical school, which I think is kind of interesting. We know book 3 left off with some crossroads where what did Mirren end up doing? What did Gino end up doing? And those are things that will be explored in more detail in this spin-off. I don't really want to tell you what exactly happened because things could have happened that you think might have happened and then still led to this outcome and so forth and so forth. So one thing that I did want to sort of go into a little detail is characters. So off the bat, just because we're in a new environment, we're not in high school anymore, so there will be certain characters that will appear again, certain characters that might only appear in sort of cameo capacities. We will get a better sense of what is going on with Chara. I'm not quite too sure, but we know, that she lived, and we don't really know how many deficits she had or whatever. So that's definitely something that I still need to explore. I would like there to be some sort of reconciliation between her and Mirren and some of the others, but I don't know entirely how that will formulate. Wallace will make an appearance or whatnot. He's not in medical school, but we'll have him sort of as a person who will be a point of reference in the novel. But of note, I could say for sure who will kind of be more present will be Dr. Janice Rutherford, so Gino's mom, and Mirren's mentor. So there is that interesting idea of Dr. Rutherford was Mirren's mentor, and yet she had stopped talking to Gino. What is that about? What is Dr. Rutherford's impression of their relationship and whatnot? So that'll be interesting to sort of talk about. Levi will appear. I think he will have actually a pretty decent role in the novel, just because for him, I plan for him to be like a resident or something. So for you that are not familiar with how the American system works for becoming a doctor, basically you do 4 years of undergraduate studies post high school, and then you do 4 years of medical school. So traditionally, you would finish medical school at about 26, but for Levi's sake, he essentially did like a combined undergrad medical sort of program, and those kind of programs usually shave off about 1 or 2 years of medical school, 1 or 2 years in the long run. So it's possible for him to have been done with medical school by now, and now he's a resident. So he's like a doctor, but he's getting extra training depending on what his specialty is. And I plan for him to be like in Philadelphia, where this medical school, where the first half of this novel will take place. So, and then also Ben will also play a role in this as well. Ben, as in Penelope's older brother, who sort of has a appearance in the tail end of the 3rd book. And then Parker, he'll be in the novel in some capacity, but probably not a significant character, just based on how my brain is seeing things. But I don't want to be too tacky and make like everyone's a med student, blah blah blah. I might make Artemis like a med student or something, she might be related. Maybe she's like a PhD student or something. So I do see her having a role in some capacity, but not. I don't know. She could. It could be. She could just be kind of like a person who has a role in a capacity, or she could be one of their classmates. I'm not quite too sure what exactly I want to do with that. So yeah, please keep letting me know if you have any other questions and whatnot. I'll try to. I think what I want to do is work on the book as much as I can during my free time until I start working in the summer. But obviously, I'm not too sure how long it'll take. I think if, let's say, this spin-off is done by this time next year, I think that would be like a great thing. Just with COVID and some craziness, there's a lot of time to work on it, but it's also not a lot of time to work on it. So definitely want to keep working on it, and definitely engage with me. Let me know what's going on. And I feel like I want to be more active on YouTube, so I think if I'm more active on YouTube and some social media sites, that will help me to keep up my progress and keep up my promise to you guys, because I love writing for you guys, and it meant a lot that you really love the Class Reject series. So I definitely want to have a proper conclusion, so you guys sort of are in an interesting spot where you can add feedback and you can let me know what you think. Even with this first chapter, you can let me know what you think you might want to happen or things like that. And those are things that I can take into consideration. So it can be a cool process. So again, I hope you and your loved ones are safe. Thank you so much for hanging with me and listening to me stumble through this novel. But I think it'll be cool, and I really enjoy this. And please subscribe below, and hopefully I can keep making videos and maybe share a couple more chapters with you as I try to finish up the story for you guys. All right, thank you. Again, subscribe below, and have a good one, and stay safe. Okay, bye.